Hey there guys, thank you so much for joining me and taking time out of your day to come and talk some movie news with me. I always appreciate you being here. So we're going to be jumping back into the universe of Pooh, Blood and Honey. We have the first reactions and reviews coming out about the Pooh, Blood and Honey sequel. The first movie only garnered a 3% Rotten Tomatoes score, but that was expected. That super low budget kind of experimental film. They didn't know if it was going to take off or if anyone was going to be interested. They upped the budget massively for the second movie, and it looks like as a result it's done much better when it comes to its review score. So we're going to jump into this article, take a look at the Rotten Tomatoes score and read into those reactions. So let's jump into this article here from comicflicknews.com. So, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 earns a surprising fresh score on Rotten Tomatoes. So, in a surprising turn of events, the sequel to 2023's Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is garnering significant praise from critics, while its predecessor held a mere 3% on Rotten Tomatoes. But like I said, that first movie was pretty much experimental. They kind of stuck it together on a shoestring budget. They didn't know if it would work. It was only, I believe, $100,000 or less. It did go on to make over $5 million in profit, which was astronomical. The creatives, they made some nice, pocket money off that movie, which is great to see. And then they upped the budget and the production value for the second movie, and it looks like it's paid off. So, the sequel has made an impressive entrance, boasting a perfect 100% score on the review aggregator platform. That was only at the beginning. Obviously, the score has changed now. So, as Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 claws its way into theatres, the first wave of reviews has emerged. As initially disclosed on fearhq.com, the embargo was lifted on the sequel's release date, a tactic often employed by studios to sidestep negative critiques that could dampen a film's success. So fortunately, Fathom Events needn't have fretted, for at present, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 boasts an impressive 73% on Rotten Tomatoes, having initially debuted at 100%. I can't even get my head around this. It's unbelievable. The first movie came out, it landed a 3% score on Rotten Tomatoes. The sequel has now come out, and it initially had a 100% debut score. It's now fluctuated, and it's kind of landed, as of the moment, at 73%. So, to go from 3% on the first movie to 73% on the sequel, a 70% increase in its Rotten Tomatoes critic score is insane for this type of movie. But I'm so happy, I'm so glad that people are enjoying this more than the first movie. I hope it goes on to spur more movies. We know we're getting more movies in the Pooinverse, they're calling it the Pooinverse. We're going to have Bambi, we're going to have Pinocchio, and Peter Pan, and all these different horror icons teaming up in the future. It's supposed to be coming out in 2025, so keep your eyes open for that, guys. But going back to this story, 73%, incredible. I can't wait to read some of these reactions and see what they're saying. And I can't wait to see the movie myself. It looks just bananas, just absolute crazy. So, having initially debuted, a perfect 100%. So yeah, I mean, just looking at these pictures, the production value is clearly increased. You can see the costumes, the masks, the set designs, the trailer, everything just looks, like it's got more money kind of, poured behind it. The creatives, they've put more passion, more love into it. Now that they kind of know what they're doing, that they've kind of worked out what's going on with this franchise, and they're going full steam ahead, like I said, into this horror, Pooh, Blood and Honey universe, and I'm so there for it. Take my money. So yeah, I love this design here. You can see all the little bits of fur on the mask. We've got the teeth, the blood. Everything just looks great. I think it looks so cool. So while the sample size remains modest, yeah, I believe. So let's go over to Rotten Tomatoes quickly and take a look. So yeah, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is sat at 73%, as you can see here, from 11 reviews only. Audience score is 85% from 250 plus ratings. So yeah, 73%. 85% audience score, so across the board it's doing really, really well, critic and audience wise. Again, it's great to hear. I could not be more happy for this, for the creatives behind this, and like I said, I'm so excited for the future of this franchise. So compromising only 9 reviews, obviously it's 11 now. It's included notable outlets, for instance the AV Club remarks. This is cinema at its most punk rock, a raucous, unpolished, cheap, sacred cow shredding middle finger to the mainstream with just enough raw talent inside to keep it from being dismissible. I love that. That is one of the coolest small mini paragraphs that I've ever heard. Punk rock, raucous, unpolished, a sacred cow shredding middle finger to the mainstream. That sounds so cool. The way the person's written that just sounds awesome. Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 is a vast improvement to its predecessor. Campy and weird, but a bit too self-serious for its own good. Yeah, maybe they've, you know, taken themselves a bit too seriously. But at the same time, you know, I don't really care about that. As long as there's some good kills, I'm not expecting, like, Shakespearean dialogue or anything like that. But, does it take itself too seriously? I'm not really sure. I'll have to wait and see the film to see if I feel that way. But, obviously, this person feels that the franchise has taken itself a bit too seriously. This flawed but enjoyable sequel defies expectations, albeit low ones, and outperforms its predecessor on most levels. Again, that's great to hear, but like they've poured so much more money, they've got better creatives, better staff managing the movie, so this is absolutely what we expect, and it's great to hear, because if these reactions had come out and said that it's just as bad as the first movie, or worse, then we know that the franchise wasn't going to go anywhere, it's going to bomb, they probably would have killed it at that point, but to hear that it's improved vastly, it's just bodes well for the future of this kind of Pooinverse franchise. So, while these reviews may not be glowing with 5-star ratings, they are positive enough to earn Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 a spot in the coveted fresh category on Rotten Tomatoes. This shift is poised to significantly elevate the sequel's overall score, which is crucial for its reception. Compared to its predecessor's dismal 3% rating based on 62 reviews, this marks a substantial improvement. Well, yeah, a 70% 70% improvement from that first movie. I still can't wrap my head around that, from 3% to 73%. Absolutely insane. Just, yeah. That's so good. So good. So when questioned about the franchise's previous single-digit score, director Rhys Frake Waterford commented the following. It's a really strange one for me, to be honest. You've got to have a really thick skin to be a filmmaker, because you get heavily criticised regardless of the means and the resources that you have. Just to kind of pile on from my own perspective, I completely understand where he's coming from. I'm a content creator on YouTube. I have to have thick skin. I don't always get the nicest comments on my videos. I put in a lot of time, effort, research on topics about things to talk about, and I don't always get nice comments. So I completely understand where he's coming from. You just have to kind of turn that criticism into kind of a positivity and use those criticisms to come back and build even better content. That's, you know, that's what you have to do as a content or a filmmaker. And I just wanted to give my personal kind of insights into that. So when your film is out there like that, it literally gets directly compared to Marvel films. That's ridiculous. A Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie that had, what, a $100,000 budget or lower, compared to a Marvel film that has $200 million budget is ridiculous to compare. To even, you know, think about comparing the two is just absolutely ridiculous. Even though you're on a 0.01% of their budget. Yeah, like I was just saying, how could you even compare those two kind of concepts? I don't get that. We probably didn't have their catering budget. We didn't even have their catering budget. That's probably true. They probably spent more money on catering. You know, during takes, the Marvel actors go and have their lunch during takes. And they probably spent more money on the catering than the whole of the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey first movie's budget. You know, that's probably true. That's probably not far from the truth, to be honest. They're substantially different, but because of the scale, Winnie went to a lot of critics and did almost like for like comparisons. Yeah, people are always going to compare stuff to Marvel and, you know, bigger tentpole movies, even if it, you know, there is no comparison to be made. That's just the way the, you know, the film community is. So, and we got Tigger here. I love this. This is from the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 trailer. We get a good look at Tigger here. He's kind of like in a alley, like it looks like he's in a warehouse or something. He's got this graffiti on the back wall. We can see his tail here, and just kind of silhouetted in the darkness. And man, he looks crazy as hell. I wouldn't want to come across him. So deep within the 100 Acre Wood, a simmering fury brews as Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Owl, and Tigger see their sanctuary and lives jeopardized after Christopher Robin exposes their existence. No longer content to dwell in obscurity, the group resolves to confront the town of Ashdown, Christopher Robin's home, leaving behind a trail of carnage and chaos. Sign me up. Piglet, Pooh, Tigger, the owl going on a, you know, a trail of carnage and chaos. I don't need to know anymore. Just sign me up. Winnie and his fierce companions are determined to prove their prowess, intelligence, and ferocity, seeking vengeance against Christopher Robin once and for all. With a significant larger budget than its predecessor, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 heralds the dawn of a new Pooinverse. Explore more about this expansion here. So, yeah, guys, like I said, the Pooinverse is going to be the title for their universe going forward, called the Pooinverse. It's a ridiculous name, I know. But they're going to be adding extra Disney characters that are now public domain figures, which means anybody can use these characters for any reason they want, as long as they don't copy the Disney versions. They're going to be using Bambi, they're going to be using Peter Pan, they're going to be using Pinocchio. All of these kind of crazy Disney characters are going to be teaming up for this kind of bloodthirsty Avengers, almost, you know, Winnie the Pooh MCU type of movie. And it's supposed to be coming out in 2025 from what I've read in reports, and it looks insane. I can't wait to see that team up of all these horror icons coming together and just causing carnage. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous, and I'm sure the creatives will make, you know, a lot of money off of it because it will pique a lot of people's interest. But guys, that's where we are. So from the first movie at a dismal 3% on Rotten Tomatoes to the sequel boasting a 73% Rotten Tomatoes score, a 70% increase on the first movie. Again, I'm going to spend the rest of the day just kind of talking to myself going, what? Like, what? But this is great. I could not be more happy for the creatives and the people behind this franchise that, you know, they've done this impressive job of counteracting that first movie with this impressive Rotten Tomatoes score. But guys, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Did this Rotten Tomatoes score for the sequel catch you by surprise like it did for me, boasting 73%? What do you think about it? Are you excited to see the sequel of Pooh, Blood and Honey? And let me know all your thoughts and comments, you know, just on the movie as a whole, and how you feel about the franchise going forward into the Pooinverse with all those extra Disney characters. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Thank you so much for watching as always, guys. I appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next one.